Today's lesson, lesson 8 from our decimal unit, was on rounding decimals using place value and using a vertical number line. So we're going to look at 1A, and you have to round 43.586 in 3 different ways. So the first way we're going to do it is to the nearest tenth. So the way we did it in class today is on the vertical number line. The first thing you do is, if you were to round up in tenths, it would be 43.6. If you were going to round down, it would be 43.5. Then, after we do rounding up and rounding down, we get the middle of those two, or the midpoint. And in this case, that would be 43.55. So once we set that up, we take the actual decimal and we place it where it belongs. Since it is above the middle, and we place it here where it belongs on the number line, since it's above the middle, we would round up. If we were rounding to the nearest hundredth, it would look like this. 43 rounding to the nearest hundredth would be 43.59 if we were rounding up. If we were rounding down, it would be 43.58. What would come in the middle, or then what would be the midpoint? That would be 43.585. And then we place this decimal where it belongs on the number line, and that would be right above the midpoint. And since it's right above the midpoint, or above the midpoint at all, we would round up. Finally, if we're just looking at the whole number, we would round up to 44, or we would round down to 43. What comes in the middle of 43 and 44? Well, that's 43 and a half. And where does this decimal lie? It lies a little bit above there, a little bit above half, 43.586, meaning we would round up to 44. So these are the different ways that you can show the rounding, and this is how we're going to set up the number line with the round up, with the round down, with the midpoint, and then placing the actual decimal that we're working with in the appropriate place to find out if we round up or we round down.